we're going to be talking about tangent lines and normal lines. Now, as you do now, what I want you to do is I want you to find an equation of a line. Let us say it passes through 2 comma negative 3, and then with slope of 4. That's the first question. Second question is this. I want you to find the slope of this function when x equals 2. So those will be my question to you first. All right, so why don't you take some time, and then we'll continue very soon. All right, so I guess you have enough time. You have enough time to work on these. If you didn't, you can pause the video, and then you can continue when you're ready. All right, then let's look at the first question first. How do you find the equation of a line that passes through this particular point with a slope? In fact, the easiest way it seems to be is when you look onto the point slope form of a line. Now, when we are looking at point slope form of a line basically states that y minus y1 is equal to slope times x minus x1. So here m is the slope, and then the point which we are looking at is x1 comma y1. Now, those of you who've seen this one a lot, many times, then you should feel very comfortable with this one. And if you didn't, then one of the way which we can do it, one of the way which I can explain to you would have been simply this. You see, normally we will say slope will be equal to change of y, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You see? But if you multiply, if you basically cross multiply, then we will end up getting the point slope form, where x2 and y2 will be the variable x and y. But now in this case, what would you do? That's right. One way for us to answer this question would be simply y minus negative 3 becomes plus 3. I practically gave you all the necessary things for you to find the equation of the line. And then slope is equal to 4 and x minus 2. There it goes. In fact, some of you guys may not feel comfortable because this is not y equals mx plus b format, but this is simplified form also because it tells us many stories regarding the line. Now, so that was the part 1. Do now. Part 2, how to find the slope. You see, in this case, I'm looking at particular points, so I'm looking for instantaneous slope. You see, in calculus, the word slope is basically, we can think of it as synonymous to the first derivative. So let's try to find the first derivative. F prime of x. And here we have it's equal to 2x minus 3. Then how would you find the slope? Slope is simply f prime when x equals 2. Then we get 2 times 2 minus 3, which is equal to 1. So in fact, slope seems to be 1 at that particular point. All right, so knowing these two, my next question is this. So here we have I want to find an equation of line tangent to, let us say, let me give you a function. How about I'll say f of x is equal to square root of x plus 3. Now, where or when x is equal to, let us say, how about negative 2? Okay, let's see what happens then. Now, once again, in order for you to find the equation of a line, just like before, we needed three things: slope and a point. Now, let's do one at a time then. Do we know the slope for this question? In order for us to find the slope, what are we going to do? We will try to find the first derivative. What is the first derivative in this case? That's right, because this one is same as x plus 3 to the 1/2 power, so you can bring out the 1/2. And x plus 3 is there, but to the negative 1/2 power. And by the chain rule, we just have to multiply by 1, but it doesn't mean anything here. So here we have 1 over 2 times square root of x plus 3. Now, once you plug in negative 2 in that location, we'll end up getting 1 over 2 square root of 1, which is simply 1 over 2. So that's how we found the slope. Then how do you find that the x and y value of the point? In fact, x value of the point has been given to us as negative 2. Then how do you find the y value? You see, the y value can be found from the expression itself. So we have f of negative 2 is equal to square root of negative 2 plus 3, which simply comes out as 1. So here it goes, guys. We have slope, point is negative 2 comma 1. How to find the equation of the line tangent? Simple. Y minus 1. Right, you see? Slope was 1/2. And x minus negative 2, which is x plus 2. So that becomes the equation of a line tangent. Now, then let me try to get to just one more question as a practice. What if I want to say the function that's given is y is equal to, let us say, and simply put Hava sine of pi x. How about that? When x equals, let us say, 1/2. Or maybe, let me go for, how about 1/6. Okay? Now, and then I want you to find an equation of line tangent. Alright, so what are we going to do? First, either way, either find the point or find the slope first, either way. So what if I want to go for slope first once again? And here we have cosine of pi x times by pi. Now, if you plug in 1/6 in place of x, we have pi times cosine of pi over 6. Now, what is pi over 6? In fact, this becomes radical, pi times radical 3 over 2. So therefore, slope becomes pi radical 3 over 2. We know the x value. Do we know the y value? Y value will be sine of pi over 6. What is sine of pi over 6? Yes, that's right. That's equal to 1/2. So we have all three pieces of information that we need to find the equation of a line tangent or normal, which we're going to be talking about then very soon. Now here we have, therefore, the equation is y minus 1/2 equals, and then slope is pi radical 3 over 2 and x minus 1/6. That becomes our final answer. Alright, then we practice with two more questions using the tangent line. Then what we're going to be doing is, let's talk about the normal line here. You see, the thing about the normal line is that the word normal implies that the line or vector that's perpendicular to the tangent or perpendicular to the surface. Uh, and you can see the example of normal in many times in physics class. Now here what we're going to be talking about is this. We're going to be trying to, we will try to find the normal line in this case. Since the normal line has the concept of perpendicularity with tangent line, that means the slope that we get, let's call this one as M1, and a slope for normal line, or maybe we can call it MT, and then a slope for normal line, MN, in fact, will be quite interesting because when you multiply them, it should be equal to -1. In other words, slope for tangent is basically the negative reciprocal of slope of the normal line, or vice versa. Now, but how do you figure out slope of the tangent line? Yes, we can find this one by first derivative. Then using this value, we should be able to figure out what slope of the normal line would have been. All right. Now then, let me try to repeat what we talked about already. So for example, function was f of x was equal to, I'm trying to copy the previous function here. Maybe, how about number 3? Okay. So, square root of x plus 3. Now, when x is equal to -2. When we figure this one out, we realize that y value was equal to 1, and slope, in this case we are referring to slope of the tangent line. I believe it was equal to 1/2. Right? That's right. Now, then using these 3 pieces of information, can we find the equation of the normal line? Yes, that's rather simple because the point will be the same, so we're going to write down y minus 1, which is equal to, slope will be not 1/2, but negative reciprocal, which is simply -2, and x plus 2. And that's it. So in fact, getting normal equation of a normal line is very similar to getting equation of the tangent line, except this portion, finding the negative reciprocal of the slope. All right, then let me try to get to one question and see what happens. So here we have, let's see, f of x is equal to x minus 5 to the 3rd power. And I'm looking for find an equation of the normal line when x equals, let us say, 4. All right, then let's try to look into this one. So similarly to before, let's try to find f prime, which we know that this one is the slope of the tangent line. And that will be equal to 3 coming out, x minus 5 squared. Now this is all by the power rule, and then by the chain rule, coefficient of x equals 1, so we're not going to do anything. Now if x equals 4, what's going to be happening? It'll be 3 times 4 minus 5 squared, which will be simply equal to 3. So that is the slope of the tangent line. The slope of the normal line should be negative reciprocal of the tangent line. Now, how about the value? We know that x value is equal to 4, but y value will be coming from 4 minus 5 to the third power, which will be equal to -1. So we have all the things that we'll be needing to find a normal line. So our answer will be y plus 1, since this one was -1, which is equal to -1/3 times x minus 4. Alright, that's it, folks. And that is the answer for the normal line. Alright, let me just get to one more question and see what happens. And y is equal to ln of 3x. And I want you to find, just like before, an equation of normal line. Let's see, when x equals e. Alright, then let's see what happens here. Here we have slope y prime will be in fact equal to 1 over x. Because when you use the chain rule, first of all, derivative of ln becomes 1 over that same thing, but we have to multiply by 3, which cancels out denominator 3 by the chain rule. Now, since e has to go in, this will be equal to 1 over e. Now, we know the x value, we just have to find the y value. Ln of 3e. Now here this becomes ln of 3 plus 1, because ln of e becomes 1 here, but we have to separate them through the addition first. Then here what do we end up getting? We have y minus 1 over e, which is equal to slope. Oops, oh, I changed the value. Sorry about that. Ln of 3 plus 1. That's the value of y. Slope becomes 1 over e, and x minus e. That is the answer. Now, if you want to simplify this one further, we'll end up getting y minus ln of 3, which will be equal to x over e, and minus 1. In fact, oops, I forgot to write the minus 1 here. So minus 1 will cancel out. Which ends up getting y is equal to x over e plus ln of 3. This seems to be the simplest form. Alright, that's it, folks. I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.